Welcome to Hacking Self Storage. So today, what we're talking about is just trying to get the volume right. We are talking about the site in Irvine. So I was at Heads of Terms. This is it's a short version kind of. So I was at Heads of Terms and site in Irvine, a really, really good location. It's still a good location. This is 2 years ago. And the landlord wanted to meet me because he didn't know who I was. And so he's in his 70s, owns a hotel, and says, "Will you come down?" So, yeah, no problem. Of course I can. Well, come up. So I went up to see him. And me, as you know, I've got a big mouth. And so he started asking questions about self-storage. I said, "Oh, self-storage is amazing. It's this, it's that, it's this, it's that." Exactly what I do to you guys all the time. And so I was talking about Irvine. And by the way, this podcast is all about how this site is on a course where you can set up a site for under £20,000, but gives you £100,000 profit a year. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But in the course, I go through it, exactly how to do it. I go with the projections. I tell you everything. And obviously, it's just projections, but my projections are pretty shit hot. I'm pretty good at projecting what you can do. Dan Bradbury, my business coach, always said, "Dean, I know your projections are solid because you always beat your projections." And so this site, I know, could make 100 grand. However, fast forward really quickly, we didn't end up doing it. And I'm going to tell you why, but there is an update in a minute. So that is what the podcast's about. Don't forget, by the way, the course is live. There is a link in the show notes or in somewhere around here. There'll be a link to buy the course. It is live, and I can absolutely guarantee you I will not be offering it for this price ever again. The price may well be doubled in the future. It's it's too good, and the information there is obviously if it only opens you one site, then it's mental. It gives you the ability to open us. Tomorrow we're going to go through exactly what is in the course as well. So yes, it's pitching season for me. These next 5 days, I'm going to pitch the hell out of it because one, I want to earn some money, and two, it feels good when I get messages saying, "Oh, by the way, I've opened the site. It's been amazing. Thank you." I'm like, "Oh." Anyway, so Irvine, back to Irvine. So this site, I went down to meet the guy. He owned a hotel, lovely hotel. He's already sold the business for £200 million, £220 million before. So he's not short of a bob or two. But he was talking about his sons and what they were going to do and if they were going to come into the business because he's thinking about retiring and pulling completely back. I was like, yeah, that sounds amazing. Got on with him really well. Really nice guy. And all of a sudden, he has to meet again. So I was like, yeah, no problem. He goes, and so we met again. We're at heads of terms by this point, so I don't mind investing some time with him because I know full well that we're going to have this site and the rent is good, the rates are good. That it's and by the way, to open a site for £20,000, it's everything has to be perfect, but you have to have things in the right in like the gate. There was a gate there already. We can make that electric. The ground was perfect. It was tarmacked. It was tarmacked. There was already palisade fencing around the entire yard, so everything was in situ. And so you don't get these opportunities every single day. That because obviously open a site for 20 grand, and it makes £100,000 a year. And then therefore it's worth 400 grand if you get 4 times multiple. These opportunities don't come around every day, but they are out there if you just search for them and persist. There is opportunities like this. So was talking away, and he was like, "This is the second time I met him." He was like, "Dean, I've seen your podcast." Obviously, I said, "Oh, I got a podcast. I've seen your podcast. It's amazing. I love it." Started asking me questions about self storage. Me, don't even think anything of it. Yeah, well, you do this, you do it. Yeah, but Dean, what happens to this? Oh, you do this, this, and this. It was literally a training call. That's all it was. It was a coaching call. Anyway, a couple of days afterwards, I got a telephone call, I think it was from him. And to be fair to him, he was real open and honest. He goes, "Dean, I'm going to do it myself. Thank you very much for your help." And I was like, no. So there is advantages for doing content like this, but there's also disadvantages. And that was one of the disadvantages, and also my big mouth. So by the way, if you are going to go into self-storage, you don't have to tell everybody everything. And don't get too excited about it because it's not just happened to me as well. It's happened to Ewan Butler. It happened to him as well. And that was, I think it's happened to him twice. And it's nothing to do with his content or anything because he does walk and talks and stuff, which is great. but I don't think it was anything to do with his content. It was just, self-storage. Never thought about that. And then there we go. Right. So then fast forward, I was devastated because I was like, not devastated, but I was like, oh no, I was just a bit, um, and so fast forward like 2 weeks, I get a phone call from him. I'm thinking, oh, he's changed his mind. Oh no, he hasn't. He just wants to pay for consultancy, and that's fine, no problem at all. To be honest, I didn't end up doing any consultancy with him. I don't actually think I got back to him, which I feel a bit bad for. But yeah, it just didn't happen. Anyway, preparing for this course, because obviously my course launch is today. Today, the course launch. Preparing for the course launch. I was like, right, I wonder if he did set up. Oh yes, he did. He set up. He did exactly what I was going to do myself. Use the gate that was there. He painted it exactly what I said to do. Made it electric, exactly what I said to do. So about maybe £2,000 to make electric. The layout, exactly the same as my layout. I gave him all this information. I said, I basically handed him a self-storage company. There you go, mate. This is what you do. This is how you do it. And he did it. Well, I think he gave it to his sons. And that's absolutely fine. It happens. And genuinely, I was a little bit gutted at the time, but I didn't hold any grudges because it's business. Why would you put all the content out and then get mad when it bites you in the bum? It happens, that's fine. Anyway, here's another upshot, because obviously I talk about self-storage, how good self-storage is. It's amazing, it's this, it's that. I think it's amazing, that it's an amazing vehicle to create wealth long term. This guy has never been in self-storage before. So I checked on the website, had a look, did a little Google thing, and all of a sudden on this website, it's like 2 sites. He's got one in Kilmarnock as well now. I was like, that is brilliant. The guy's not open 1 site, but he's opened 2 sites. So that validates, number one, that it's possible to open a self-storage facility and not know what you're doing and not have a clue. And I don't mean that detrimental to him or negatively or any, because he's never done it before. He's never been in self-storage before. So you can start from scratch, open a self-storage. But because he's a very, very clever bloke, this guy. Obviously, you don't get to sell a business for £20 million, own a hotel, etc., and not be clever. Very, very clever guy. And so the guy, very clever, and he sees the opportunity in self-storage, even though it's not a £20 million exit, of course not, but he sees the investment, he sees the possibilities, and so he's opened up site number 2. So it just validates everything I've been talking about self-storage, how good self-storage is, a vehicle to make incredible wealth. But please don't think it gets you rich quick, because it doesn't. It gets you wealthy long term, but it won't ever get you rich quick. And so I found that absolutely fascinating. And I was absolutely buzzing when I saw this. 2 reasons. Number one, I was really happy for him. I was really happy that because so many people don't take action. So many people know it's a good idea, think it's a good idea, but don't do anything about it. This guy actually did something about it. And so I really respect it. And obviously he's a deca millionaire. So he's got traits of the greats, James Sinclair says. And taking action, if I had some of the traits, if I listed the traits of the greats, I think that you need to get get successful, is take action. And this guy took action. And I was proud of him. A guy in his 70s, I'm proud of you. No, it was a nice feeling. And also like I said, keep saying it, it validated not just the location for me, that I knew it was right, but it must be doing that well that he's opened up a second location as well. I think that is incredible. So anyway, buy my course. It's out today. I'm really excited about it. Podcast, there'll be links in the podcast and stuff to buy it. It's version 3.0. There's a section on doctor, how to analyze where's going wrong in your storage and what to do about it. There's an extra session about my acquisition for Wrexham, how we did it, why we did it, what did we do. I go into all them details. And then the biggest bonus of all, where £3,600 is, there's a link to the community, the self-storage community, where you don't just have me there, you have a panel of experts. And people have been messaging me, experts in the industry have been messaging me saying, Dean, can I be on the panel of experts? And I'm like, this is incredible. People actually want to be a part of it. And it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. First of all, there might be 40 people in there, and then it'll go to 50, 60, 70, 80. And the more people are in there, the better the group will be. And not only that, because I want engagement, we need to have engagement in there, not just from me, but from other people. Everybody needs to contribute. And so, what I'm going to do is have monthly prizes every single month where there'll be some earphones, iPods, AirPods. You'll be able to win. There'll be time with me. Hey, how good's that, eh? But you can win. So, there's loads of stuff. So, you get free access for 12 months to the community, and in the community, by the way, there's going to be training, monthly training from me or another industry expert. I've got people asking to do training. And this is the power when we all come together. It's not, if it was just me saying, excuse me, Mr. Expert, can you give me a one-on-one, please? And that's it. And I can't pay you. Like, no, of course not. But because there's a group of people in there, because we're stronger together, people have actually said, can I do training? Can I do this training? Can I do that training? And so, I mean, at the minute, you probably won't need to. There's no room for me to do any training in there. But obviously, I want to do some training as well because I'm passionate about certain things, sales being one of them, etc. Yeah, it's really, really exciting, and being part of a community and setting this up is something that I am going to be extremely proud of. And by the way, if you don't want to buy the course, but you still want to get in the community, 279 a month. You can be in the community for £279 a month, and I think that will be incredible value. There's also a Zoom with Dean. So because I find it hard to answer everybody's questions because I get so many questions. By the way, I love it. I love it. And I feel like that me saying this now, questions will stop. I love it. And I do try to reply, but I am not very good at that side of it. And I'm trying to get better. I'm getting an assistant now as well, which will make that a lot easier to reply to people. But the problem is when I get past every single day, 15 minutes of my time, 30 minutes of your time, I'll buy you coffee, I'll buy you lunch. And it's just, I can't do it. I can't do it. However, in the group, there'll be a document there, a Google Doc where people can ask questions and I'll answer every single question in that group because I want to help. I want to advise. I've made all the mistakes possible in some, well, probably not all of them, but nearly all of them. And I've been in the industry now for 12 years. Yeah, over 12 years. Jesus. And so obviously, the way I've worked with just about every consultant there is in the industry. So I've tried to learn and educate myself outside masterminds, spent over £100,000 last year on masterminds and personal development alone. And if I can just give some of that back to people and help the people not make mistakes, the same mistakes that I've made, then I just feel really proud of myself for doing that. And it gives me a warm, gooey feeling inside. So, and by the way, obviously, I don't want to pretend I'm not making money from this. Obviously, I'm making money. I made over £100,000 the last launch. So that was great. And what did that do? It went to pay for Glasgow. So the great thing is everything that goes in, then I don't personally, me and Claire don't live a lavish lifestyle or anything like that. Well, don't get me wrong, we live a great lifestyle, but we don't need any more money. I realise what a douchebag that sounded to say. But what I'm trying to say is that all the money I get there gets reinvested into the company. It just means that I can, instead of getting debt, I can get my money to fund certain things. And then the more money I get from the course, the more I can put back in the business, and the better the content, because then I've got more things to talk about and more lessons and learnings. And then the more lessons and learnings I've got to give, then the more people buy the course, the more people, it's a flywheel. It's just great. So, right, so that's basically it, my friends. Yeah, so buy my course because it is awesome. There's loads of bonuses in there as well. Like I said, about the update on how to buy a self-storage facility for £20,000 will be there. It'll be really good to get the guy on and say, look, how much did you spend? But because I didn't get back to him about consultancy, he'll probably not going to talk to me. But if you are listening to this, Mr. Irvin, then get in touch and we'll get you on the podcast and you can tell all if you want to. Obviously, maybe you don't want to, but it'll be a great. I'd love to know. I'd absolutely love to know. I reckon it's under 20 grand, easily under 20 grand to do what you've done. I'm just trying to work it out. Yeah, or it's all in the course anyway. It's all in there. All the workings out and stuff. We even got stamp duty, etc. But it's all in there. All right, my friends, I love you. I appreciate you. And I will see you tomorrow where we're going to talk about everything that's inside the course. All right, my friends. Ta-ra! Oh, I'm putting share the course. Share what? No, I don't want to share nothing. Right, I'm going to try and leave. How do we do that? There we go. Right, I'm off now. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate you. See you inside the school community, self-storage community. School / self-storage. That's us. Skull.com/self-storage. Anyway, sign up for the course. The links will be somewhere. Jojo, if you can put links everywhere, that'll be great stuff. All right. Thank you very much, guys, girls. See you soon. Bye bye.